Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Oh my god, it's been a minute, but I've been working and getting some stuff done. It's just been crazy. It's just been crazy, crazy, crazy. So I'm back. I just want to, I'm just jumping on. I'm actually calling these my, God, my bookshelf is a mess. I need to fix it. I'm literally calling these my little Tony Gaskin moment. So for anybody who'd know who Tony Gaskin is, and he's in his car, he's always recording stuff, and it's kind of a beautiful thing because it's not, it doesn't have all these aesthetic, and his message really comes across. But I once heard him say that, oh, people say that they don't have time to make videos and do all that stuff and da da da, but you can just turn on your camera and film wherever you are, right? So I have literally decided that that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just film stuff. So I came home from work and I actually have my water because I need to drink some water. I'm so thirsty. Oh my gosh. I came in from work and got my daughters to bed, and then have just a little, I have some stuff that I was making. I put it in the oven, so it's getting done, and I decided I was going to jump on and film this video. For those of you, if the lighting is not 100, I'm not going to turn on all my big lights. It's kind of a crazy, but as I said, I don't want to be rambling on this video. I just want to come and film this video and just do it. I'm not gonna ask anybody to subscribe. I know that is what YouTube normally do, but something that I'm coming to believe and understand is that when something is meant for a person to see it, the divine would guide a person to it. Whether it's a book you're looking for, whether it's this video, whether it's some other video on YouTube or wherever across the whole social media sphere, if it is meant for you to see it, then you would see it because it's meant for you in that time. There's a saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appear. So when you're ready for a specific amount of knowledge, then it's literally gonna come to you. It's gonna come to you. So, yes, I want to grow my following on social media, especially on my YouTube. I'm gonna be sharing a lot of things that I've learned, that I'm evolving into. And yeah, so I don't want to just stand here rambling. I just want to get into my video and get myself ready so I can. So anyway, the reason why I want to do this today, and for those of you who are here, thank you for being here. Oh my God, I'm so rude. But I'm still getting used to this whole thing. I'm just trying to make myself comfortable in my living room. Yeah, so for those of you who are here, thank you for being here. I think I have 46. I think I have 46 people who are following this channel, and I am grateful for that. Um what I'm really doing here is creating a digital footprint that, even if it's for my children to see when I've transitioned, that they can look back and just look at some of the knowledge that I have here, if YouTube is still around. Right, if YouTube is still around, right? That they can come and see me, right? See me talking to them, see me talking to other people, see me talking and sharing my experience of how I've evolved as I get more mature and more wisdom and knowledge, right? Because that's one of the biggest thing. As long as you're alive, you must grow. If you're not grow, you're dying. So that's really one of the reason why I name my channel on myself. I see myself as the evolving black woman because I'm evolving every day. So as I said, the reason for this video is because I've come to understand, and I don't even have a name for it, people. I don't have a name. But one of the things I've come to understand is that as individual, as a person, and as me, right, evolving will test your strength. It will test everything in you. It will test everything in you. So I think someday, a couple of days ago, I was watching a video with Mama Van Zandt and Dr. Be Serious. For those of you who know, their elders, leaders, thought leaders, spiritual leaders in our community, who are really evolving and teaching us and bringing us back to the truth of who we are as a people, and giving us new knowledge and things to think about and things to research. So I was watching her, and in part of her introduction, she was just saying that the Ronnie, because they would call her Ronnie, her, if for those of you who know, Queen Mother Iyanla Vanzant, her name was Rhonda something, but she changed it to Iyanla, right? After she really came into who she is, who she was meant to be as a woman, as a spiritual leader, right? So she changed it. So she was saying that the person who she was years ago, in that time when she was much younger, and I'm just paraphrasing, is not the person that she is right like now, right? And it would kind of be unfair for people to want her to be that way, right? So yeah, that one kind of a hit home for me, because for me, I'm gonna be really talking about a mixture of things today. Two things specifically that I had to I had to just call them a day, call it a day, call it a day, call it a day, right? Um yeah, so she was speaking about not being that person from years ago. And I really ponder on that. I thought about that. And for me, right? For me, this is what I'm saying about me now. It's really unfair for people to think, or people to want you to be the person who you were, who didn't know from years ago. Because if you are still that person, it means only one thing: that you're stagnated, um and you haven't grown, and that is unfair to you. As I said before, as long as we are alive and well, we should be evolving, we should be growing, we should be learning new things, right? We should be having different, bigger and better experience, right? So what I really want to talk about is that, and you guys know that I don't I don't like doing long videos, so I'm just gonna get into it. Me, whatever I have to say, really feed into somebody's spirit today, because that is really one of the reason why I am here, right? So number one, I kind of I met someone I met someone from the past, and I was having this really great conversation, catching up, um and after a while, I don't really want to go into details. I hate, like, yes, people like to be vulnerable and share their private life, but I'm very open on social media, but there's certain things when it comes to my private life I'm very private about. But this one is really, I want to share it because I want somebody out there to really get a story, get something from it, right? So yeah, I was talking to this individual, and we kind of know one another. We know one another from the past, right? From my life back home. And I really thought that there was something there, but I realized that I have changed so much. Like, I've literally changed so much. And I'm gonna be honest and say that I do love this person. I do love this person. But the energy that I was getting, the energy that I was getting, like, Spirit was literally saying to me, no. And because I'm evolving and I've grown, and I literally allow my spirit, my inner guide, my inner being to lead me, like, I started really paying attention, and the energy really wasn't there anymore, right? The energy wasn't there anymore. And there's no hatred or anything about for this person. Like, I love when I say love this person, I love this person, right? I love this person. But the energy wasn't there anymore. And it was always, like, for me, the more physical, sexual part of it, and I didn't like that. Like, I want a person to be able to see me and see past that, like, see past this face that may look, quote unquote, oh, beautiful, or you're so pretty, you're so beautiful, right? I want somebody to be able to see past that. So I started really feeling uncomfortable, and I'm sharing this because these two piece of stories that I'm sharing, they really tie into, they kind of just tie into to each other, right? They tie into each other. Oh my god, I forgot to put my phone in airplane mode. Right? They kind of just tie into each other. So yeah, so I started feeling anxious. Like I started feeling like, out of it, and I'm like, what is happening here, and blah 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 blah. So it was like, I was like, I got up one day and I was like, Spirit just said to me, you know what, you can't do this, right? You can't do this. And I actually haven't had a conversation with the person per se and say, oh, you know what, I can't do this. I just woke up one day and was like, you know what, you be well, right? You be well. And I think I said that, and I like literally immediately felt at peace, right? So that's one part of the story, because I'm evolving. And I think, I'm not saying, but I think that person felt that, I'm that same person, we can just pick up where we were, and, just move on. But I, even although I kind of wanted that, because I've changed so much, like my spiritual insight is so like off the chart right now, that sometimes I just see things that people don't. Like, I see things, I smell things, I feel things. So, like I said before, because I don't want to be making mistakes over and over again in my life, I wasn't I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't feeling that anymore like that. So, I had to just kind of just step back and step away from that, because as I said, I want, if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, if I'm going to be in a relationship with someone, I want that person to see more than the physical. The physical is important, and I don't know, maybe somebody would get it, maybe somebody can comment, but I don't want somebody to just look at me and say, "Oh my god," I don't want, like, I'm too mature for that now. I want more than that. I want meaningful conversation. Talk, like, feed my mind, like, feed my mind and not my ego. Like, I don't want you to feed my ego to every day wake up and it's like, oh my god, you're so pretty, oh my god, you're so beautiful, whoa, da 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 da, oh my god, this, oh my god, that. I like, that is feeding my ego. Feed my spirit. Send me something empowering for the day. Like, just feed my spirit. And like, I'm not saying that this person is a bad person, this person is a really nice person, but it's just like, it wasn't etching for me anymore, and I kind of stepped away, and guess what, my anxiety level just went totally down. It kind of went down, right? So now I'm much better, and I'm still growing through all of that, right? So that's one story, right? So story number one is that it kind of just put in my mind that evolving will test you and leave you thinking twice. It wouldn't leave you thinking twice, it would just test you. It would just like test you over and over, like, oh my god, like, all these people that are coming to my life, like, what are you doing, what am I doing, am I being too harsh, like, am I being too sensitive, like, so things like that, right? But yeah, that's one of the things that I'm learning as I'm evolving. Like, it's gonna test you, it's gonna test your strength, and it's gonna test your conviction. And I live from a place of conviction and integrity, everything that I do. So there was also this other guy who would be talking to me all the time, and I knew that he liked me in that way, but then I found out he was married and he was separated, right? And some people would say, oh yeah, he's married and he's separated, blah 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 blah. And the minute I found, like, listen, the minute I found out that he was married, because it came up into my spirit to ask. So I asked, and he said, but yes, but you're not separated, it's like been a couple of years, and I had to call that quits too, right? Because my goal now, as a woman who is evolving, as a black woman who's evolving, is to change the whole narrative about how I think and how I grow through life. So that that had to go one side, because my goal is to live from a place of integrity. If you're not living from a place of integrity, then you're not growing and you're not evolving. You're just lying to yourself. And I promised myself that I was not going to lie to myself. I'm not going to lie to myself because I'm going to live in my truth, right? I'm going to literally live in my truth. So, the other thing that I want to speak about, right, is that's kind of a tree. That the other thing I want to speak about is um I love sharing about my journey. Sometimes I'll be watching a video and I would feel so impressed to share with someone, and it would just be like, oh, spirit, should I share it with this person? Because I always ask, should I share it with this person? With and if my energy say yes, that's it, I would share. So I don't know if she's gonna be watching this, and I don't even know if she's subscribed to this channel. I don't know if she's gonna be watching this, but I think we had a conversation. So I was sharing something. I shared something with my best friend. My best friend lives back in Barbados, and I shared something with her, and she's the quiet side of me. Like, there's in life, what I've come to understand in this universe, that there's balance. So there's light and there's darkness, there's up, there's down, there's in, there's out, there's backwards, there's forward, there's vibrancy, and there's so my best friend is like, she's the quiet side of me, where I'm the right. So I shared something with her, and I think she watched the video. I think it was actually one of the videos with Mama Van Zant and Dr. B Cyrus, and then I shared another video with her, and I think she also watched that. And she sent me this voice note that it was so long, and I listened to everything. And because I know that she's on the quiet side of thing, I was like, wow, I was happy. But what made me want to share this in this video about evolving is that it would have taken a lot for my friend to share that. Me knowing her personally, right? And what she said was after she sent this long voice note, she spoke to me about her faith. And yes, I grew up in Seventh Adventist Church. I no longer subscribe to religion because I've grown and I've evolved and I know better. Religion is just one part of it. And just a side note is that a lot of people stay in religion because if they walk away from religion, then there's nothing, right? And I feel that's why I am here, right? I'm not fully there yet, but I believe that's one of the reasons why I am here, right? Because for me, when I walked away, there was nothing. So I had to learn. I was alone. I was just going through the motion. I didn't know what to do, where to look, how to transition out of that. But I stayed. Stayed prayed up, and I continued searching. And I'm not fully actualized into this fully spiritual person, blah blah blah. But guess what? I am on my way. I'm learning new things. I'm learning new things about myself, about how I'm so connected to the universe, about how God is in me, and I am a co-creator. I'm like a God, and it's in myself. And a lot of people are gonna take offense to that, right? But I'm not saying I'm the God. I'm not the God, the universal, that supreme being. But if you understand the concept of a God, you are creating. So for us as women, when the egg and the sperm, when they come together, right? That's co-creating, right? You co-create life with the supreme being of the universe, because you, the woman, you become the carrier, right? You become the nurturer. So you are a co-creator. So a co-creator is like a god. You create something, right? So yeah, so back to my point. So it took a lot for, I knew in my heart that it took a lot for my friend to send me that message, explain about her belief in Jesus and God and stuff like that. So I was very happy that she did that. Like she did that. I was so proud of her. I was so proud of her. But what piqued my interest in the whole voice note is when she said to me, "Don't be offended." And I was like, when she said that, something clicked in me, because she of all person know that I'm the sort of person, I don't care what you see about me. Like I'm not gonna get offended. Like I don't I like I'm to the point where you can say all the you I don't care what like a person say about me. I know myself, I know my truth, and I'm not gonna get so offended that I want to. So in that moment, I knew, right, that I've evolved to the point so much, and she was seeing it, right, that she felt that I was gonna get offended because what I share with her, in my interpretation, is just that what I shared with her, maybe she thought I was trying to convince her about something. So, I shouldn't be offended if she didn't believe, like, accept and embrace it. So she was thinking like maybe I shouldn't be, I should, oh, if you, because of my voice note, I shared my truth with you. And that's the thing, her truth, right? Why should I get offended about her truth? I'm not. I'm not, and I never will be. Don't ever get offended about people sharing their truth with you, because that is their truth. That is their circle of reference. That is what they can identify. So you shouldn't be. And that is why we have so much corruption, so much madness, so much unaliving, and in terms of people being sacrificed and on being unalive when it comes to religious belief and stuff like that, because somebody feel that because they believe in one thing, that somebody should believe it. Everybody should be left alone to come to their truth and their understanding of what a spiritual life is, of who God is to them, right? That is what I thoroughly believe. That is what I truly, truly, truly believe. So yeah, when my friend said at the end of the voice note, and my best friend said at the end of the voice note, "Hope you're not offended," I realized in that moment that our relationship have shifted. And guess what? I felt like that was the end of our relationship and a beginning of a new one. So I'm not saying that we are not friends anymore, but when she said that, it kind of shifted my mind, because light and darkness, darkness and light, it's a fork in the road. So I realized that we literally came to a fork in the road, and we're gonna remain friends, but we're not gonna be best friends anymore. That's just how I felt. And I wanted to do this video just because of that, because I wanted to put it out in the atmosphere. Like I love her with a passion. I'll do anything for her. But I think in that moment our relationship shifted, because she of all person know that it means that if I got offended, that I didn't love her enough to trust her. Like I didn't love her enough, right? And that's my interpretation, that I didn't love her enough to understand that if I share something with her, that she have a right to reject it. And I knew, like I literally knew in that moment, that our relationship was never going to be the same. So the lessons that I've learned from evolving, right, is that a lot of us need to stop staying in places and holding on to things and people out of allegiance, right? We need to stop holding on to things and people out of allegiance, And I kind of feel emotional now because, yeah. So, as you're evolving, you may just lose some of your friends and some of your family, right? Because a lot of us who have friends who go to church, we have created, that kind of an in circle. And these are people who identify with the same thing of us. You may eat the same food, you pray the same way, you may live in a certain community, you go to the same places. So you feel that you have that commonness with them, right? For lack of a better word. You have that commonness with them, right? So you may just decided, hey, this is where I feel comfortable, this is where I'm staying, right? But you cannot stay in a place, and these are just lessons that I'm learning as I'm letting go and I'm releasing, right? You cannot stay in places that's making you feel anxious and insecure, right? And out of balance and feel less than, right? So yeah, those are lessons. You can't stay out of allegiance, right? You have to move on. You have your own life journey, your own life path, your own purpose that you should lean into. And if you decide that you're going to stay in a place or have people in your life and things, out of allegiance because you don't want to upset somebody or you don't want to offend somebody, guess what? You're not living your truth. You're just existing and you're just surviving. Like for me, I want to thrive. I want to thrive, and I want to thrive in peace. I want to thrive in purpose, and I want to thrive and be able to express myself freely, like freely, right? So yeah, that is what I wanted to share with you guys today. Like, evolving would test you, it would test your strength, it would stretch you, and it would allow you, right, to choose where you want to be. Because you can't be evolving, you can't decide that you want to evolve and change your mind, right? And remain in the same place. It's not gonna work. Like the literal definition, right? Of, like, I have a definition, right? Do you know that the definition, and I should have said that in the first place, but it just came out to my mind. Like evolving, when I decided I was gonna name my channel, like, I was not even a channel because it wasn't a channel. I literally have this name on Facebook, right? The Evolving Black Woman. When I decided I was gonna do this, right, it was because I know that as I grow and as I mature and as I meet different people and go different places and experience different things, that I was gonna change. I was never gonna be the same EM. Like, people, literally, I don't call myself by my name. Like, I am EM. I am Elenita Maureen. Like, that's me. Like, that's people from back home in my country would call me that name from before. But for now, while I'm in this new space, having this new experience, everybody know me as EM. And that is how I want it to be. I am EM. That's me. Right? So yeah. So evolving, it's like, it's like you develop gradually, and then you come to a place where I have it written down somewhere. Develop gradually from a simple to a more complex form. That's what it is, right? So you're developing gradually from simple to a more complex form. And if you go look up the definition of complex, like if you literally look up the definition of complex, complex consists of many different and connected parts. So imagine somebody trying to navigate a new you and not understanding you because they don't have the blueprint for you, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to come on here. I don't know if it sounds like a lot of rambling, but I just wanted to come on here and share my truth, right? That evolving would test you. Don't ever feel or think that if you're evolving, if you're growing, if you're changing, that you're going to remain the same, because you would just be lying to yourself. And in that evolving, in that evolution, guess what? You're going to lose friends. You're going to stop going places that you think you should be able to go. You're going to give up things that you thought were important. And most of all, you're going to have to start living your truth, your authentic truth. And one of the things that I have learned and know that I am evolving is that I don't get offended. And I'm very happy. Like, I'm so happy being in my own company. Like, I'm not out there rushing looking for a relationship. Yes, I was engaged to get married. That's another story myself. That's another story in itself. That's another story in itself. Story for another day. That's story for another day. I need to go and sleep. Right? Um yeah, that's another story that I'm literally gonna do a video on, right? Yeah. But yeah, I am happy being by myself for now and learning my new self, working on projects that I love, spending time with my children. And I do have four beautiful children. Like, the universe, God has blessed me with two sons and two daughters who are doing very well. And I have to keep myself in this place of, how should I say, I have to be in an actualized state of mind, right? To keep on top of my, what I'm doing as a mother, as a thought leader, as as a woman evolving, right? I have to keep on top of all of that. So yeah, for those of you, I pray that who this message is meant for, that someone would see it, they would get a nugget from it. And for now, as I always say, heal from your past, continue to inspire others to do the same. Okay, so I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye bye. Talk to you. Bye. Peace and love.